We are now in front of the City Hall of Château-Thierry. Directly behind it, up on a hill, are the ruins of a castle that dates back to the 12th century. The bridge that the 3rd Division helped to keep the Germans from crossing is behind us. As we look to our left, we see the American Memorial Church. Members of the Reformed Church in America donated the money necessary to build and furnish this church as a tribute to their fallen sons. There is a very interesting stained glass window at the back of the church that depicts General Pershing, the leader of the AEF, arriving to France with the American troops and being greeted by a symbolic Lafayette, the French general who was a hero of the American War of Independence over 100 years before World War I. This window demonstrates the understanding at the time that America was happy to come help France fight during this war, in part at least because of the support that France had given to the US during the American War of Independence. We'll leave the church and turn left. We continue toward the river and find ourselves at the Maison de l'Amitié France-Amérique, or MAFA, which means the House of French and American Friendship. A hotel used to stand on the spot of this building. Some American Methodist missionaries bought the seriously damaged building and used it to help in restoring the social fabric of the war-torn city of Château-Thierry. They tried to meet whatever needs they could, which included a wide variety of activities from a daycare center, since so many French children were now fatherless, to educational classes, to social events, all of which were geared toward building strong bonds of friendship between the American, English, and French people. It was all meant to serve as a living memorial of the Americans who'd served and died here in the Marne Valley. The MAFA building is newly rebuilt and now serves as a tourism office to welcome any visitors to the area, including the many American visitors who come to the area around Memorial Day each year. Upstairs above the visitor center, there is a really nice exhibit about Quentin Roosevelt, the youngest son of former US President Theodore Roosevelt. He served as a pilot during World War I in the United States Army Air Service, a forerunner of the United States Air Force. His airplane was shot down in aerial combat not too far from here. Just in front of the MAFA building was the site of a monument commemorating the service of the US Army 3rd Division during World War I. Unfortunately, it was destroyed during World War II. We'll keep walking past the parking area named Place des États-Unis, or United States Square. We'll come to a stone marker that shows where the Western Front line extended to on July 18, 1918. Over 100 of these stones were placed along the 597-mile or 960-kilometer Western Front through Belgium and France. July 18th is a very significant date in the history of World War I and is often called the turning point of the war. The last German offensive of the war was called off and the Allies seized the offensive. The US 3rd and 28th Divisions were here in Château-Thierry at the time, and they fought valiantly. German Chancellor George von Hertling said, "At the beginning of July 1918, I was convinced, I confess it, that before the 1st of September, our adversaries would send us peace proposals. We expected grave events in Paris for the end of July. That was on the 15th. On the 18th, even the most optimistic of us knew that all was lost. The history of the world was played out in 3 days." As we keep walking down the river just a little bit further, we reach the new US Army 3rd Division monument. This monument was erected to replace the old one, which was destroyed during World War II. The new monument also pays tribute to the same division's service and sacrifice here in Château-Thierry during World War II. During World War I, the 3rd Division was so significant in defending the Marne River that they earned the name Rock of the Marne. From here, we leave you to hike 1.5 miles or 2.5 kilometers and then watch video 3 about Hill 204.